Hello and welcome to episode 6 of Modulus Manufacturing's AR4 Mk3 Robotic Arm kit build. In this episode, following a few episodes of the mechanical components such as this J2 arm, we install the electrical fan enclosure along with all of the stepper motor driver wiring of the main bus voltage. We've also routed the J1 wiring through the J1 base enclosure, and at the end of this video we'll be turning on the stepper motor drivers for the first time, albeit without the motor wires wired in. We start the process of wiring the AR4 robotic arm by cutting two 13cm lengths of this 20 American wire gauge wire provided in electrical bag 2 of the AR4 build kit. These wires are used as extension leads to extend the toggle switch and power jack leads that go into the J1 base enclosure and provide power to the stepper motor drivers. We strip the end of these wires to allow us to solder them to those leads in the J1 fan enclosure. We can now retrieve the J1 fan enclosure. We've already installed the fan, power jack and toggle switch in episode 4, and now we're looking to extend the wires. Grabbing some clear heat shrink, we cut a small length of that to slip over the red wire, and now we'll go ahead and solder the red 13cm extension lead to the red wire coming from the toggle switch in the J1 fan enclosure. Prior to getting into any of this wiring, I would definitely recommend getting yourself a proper soldering station with a third hand and magnifying glass, which makes this whole operation a lot less tedious than trying to manually solder the two pieces together. Once they're done, however, and we've tested the joint, we can slide that heat shrink over and use a lighter to shrink the heat shrink onto the wires and seal the joint. Moving on to the black wire coming from the toggle switch, we'll actually remove the fan to give ourselves a bit more space and then measure 50mm from the switch before cutting the black wire, which will once again remove the insulation from the end, and we'll tin both the end of the black lead but also the lugs of the power jack, both the upper and lower lugs, to which we'll end up soldering our 13cm extension lead and the 50mm or 5cm lead that comes from the toggle switch. At this point here, I deviate from the AR4 Mk3 build manual, and instead of cutting just the plug off of the fan leads, I cut the fan leads short, strip them back, and then wire them directly into the power jack. Despite requiring less wires to be run into the J1 base enclosure, directly soldering the fan to the power jack is actually more difficult, as you can just screw the longer leads into the stepper motor drivers within the J1 base enclosure. It also means that the fan is only on when the entire robot is turned on, whereas in this case, whenever the power supply has power to it, the fan will be running even if the robot arm has actually been turned off. This is useful, however, in the hot Australian summers to make sure that we can cool the electronics down after the robot arm has been in operation, and then we can turn the power supply itself off through a Wi-Fi enabled plug socket. With all of that in mind, we push on here, installing the fan and also soldering both the black lead from the toggle switch to the upper side of the power jack, and the 13cm black extension lead to the lower side of the power jack. We couple this with the fan leads, making sure that both sets of wires get soldered at the same time, and ultimately when it's done it will end up looking just like this. So power jack at the bottom and the switch at the top, that all soldered together on the inside. With the fan and power leads soldered into the J1 fan enclosure, we now thread the wires through the smaller of the two holes on the back of the J1 base enclosure and run the wires up across the back of the stepper motor drivers. You'll notice here that the 13cm extension lead that was soldered on actually doesn't seem to be necessary, as it was more than long enough to make it to the right hand side most stepper motor driver. Threading these wires through can be a little bit fiddly to wire them up behind the stepper motor drivers, but we bring those across to the right hand most stepper motor driver if you're looking at the J1 base enclosure from the back. After checking the length of the leads from the J1 fan enclosure to the stepper motor driver, we can now get the number 6 type thread screws from the hardware kit and start to install the J1 fan enclosure to the back of the J1 base enclosure. Due to the holes being part of a 3D print, sometimes it can be difficult to get the alignment or to start the thread, so it does take a little bit of time to pre-thread them into the J1 fan enclosure as seen, before then continuing to thread them the whole way through into the J1 base enclosure. Once this is done, it does lead to a very nice finish on the back of the entire J1 base. With the fan enclosure now mounted to the J1 base enclosure, we can remove the green terminal block on the right handmost stepper motor driver, loosen off the terminals and install the red wire, the second from the center, and the black wire the closest to the center. Setting the robot arm to the side, we now get the 20 American wire gauge wire from the beginning of the video and cut 5 pairs of red and black wire that will form the jumper leads between each of the stepper motor drivers. Each of these lengths of wire are 5 centimeters in length and get stripped on either end so that they can be tinned and better connected into each of the terminal blocks. So we've gone ahead, created our 5 pairs of red and black jump leads. We now remove 2 terminal blocks at a time. So orienting the robot arm so that the enclosure is pointed to your right, we start the terminal blocks closest to you, removing the one at the very end, and then just putting the black and red wires in. This one is a little bit simpler because you only need to put one set of wires in to the very end terminal block. The black goes into the left handmost side of the terminal block and they can only be installed in one direction, with the red wire to the right hand side of that black wire in the next terminal along. Once this has been done, you can then bridge that over to the next pair where you'll need to install 2 sets of wires, the first coming from the block to the left and the next that will be the jumper leads to the subsequent block. So this can be quite tedious. The entire process took me over 15 minutes in real time, but this has been sped up 5 times to make it a little bit less painful to watch. So each of these pairs can be installed like this, going 1 pair at a time, and then bridging those jumper leads over to the next terminal block. I did find it quite useful to twist the wires together before putting them into each terminal and just do it one color at a time, installing it almost upside down in the terminal block before turning it over to be the right orientation to be pressed back into the stepper motor driver. This is useful, but it is important to make sure that the wires don't get twisted or cross over each other, as that can get quite confusing. Completing the process here, we get to our final terminal block where we then amalgamate the wires coming from the penultimate stepper motor driver and combine them with the power leads from the J1 fan enclosure. Cleaning up the wiring from the J1 motor and bringing it into the base enclosure, we get the braided sleeve from the electrical kit 2 bag of the AR4 kit and cut a 16.5cm length. We then unbundle all of these wires and split it out into the encoder wires coming from the top of the motor, where there's the encoder for the closed loop control, and the motor wires, and put some red heat shrink around the motor wires to allow us to separate those out. Also, to make it easier to fit this through the braided sleeve, I end up putting some black heat shrink around the end of these wires, holding the bundle together. This makes it much easier to push it through the braided sleeve. However, the braided sleeve still kind of came apart during this process and was immensely painful to get looking good. So despite singeing the ends as suggested by the manual, ultimately it looks like we'll need to use some liquid electrical tape to neaten up the braided sleeve where it joins to the J1 motor. This then goes through the PG21 gland and into the enclosure box. We now have all of our jumper leads installed for the stepper motors, and we can grab our 24 volt 9 amp power supply that came with the stepper motor online kit and plug it into the 5.5mm power jack located on the back of the J1 base enclosure. Once this is done, we can plug it into the 240 volt power supply from the mains, and you'll hear the fan start to spool up. Flicking the switch on the back, we now have all of the LEDs light up on the stepper motor drivers, indicating we have power, and we can move on to the next steps of wiring up the robot arm. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe for more robotics and 3D printing content.